Welcome to another session of Whiteboard Session. Today we're going to talk about change. Change is the universal language of any living thing. Change is innate. Change is constant. It's the only constant that we have in life. Change and time go hand in hand. These are two things that we have no control over, but the only thing we can do with them is use them. We have to play by their rules. We have to understand how they work in order for us to be able to live life. What is life? I've got a very easy definition of life here. Life is simply management of changes through time. You will go through so many phases, so many changes in your life. Let's use a very easy example as a man. You go through your boyhood stage or boyhood phase. You go through your malehood stage, boyhood stage, and of course manhood stage. The same thing happens with women. They go through the female stage, they go through the girlhood stage, and they go through the womanhood stage. So let's look at the acronym change. Why it's very important for you to understand it and why you cannot run away from it. C here stands for consequences. Consequences drive change. If you understand what the consequences will be in you staying still in the place you're in, then chances are, if it does not serve you, you are forced to change. Or you look at it the other way. What are the consequences of you changing? Are you going to be a better person, in a better place, in a better state, in a more elevated lifestyle than where you were? Consequences drive change. And one of the biggest problems why most of us resist change is why most of us don't a personal buy-in into change, because we do not do these easy exercises. What will be the consequences if you keep on putting on weight? The consequences are you're going to end up with a lifestyle disease. You're going to end up with high blood pressure. You're going to end up being diabetic. What are the consequences of you not carving out 4% of your day to go work out? The consequences are you're going to end up with a heart attack. So whichever way, if you don't make time to get your heart strong, you are going to make time for your heart to be attacked. What are the consequences if you don't spend a lot of time with your wife, if you don't spend a lot of time with your husband? Chances are your bond, your closeness is going to widen, and in the end you're going to end up as a miserable divorcee. What are the consequences if you don't invest a lot of time, a lot of nurturing, a lot of love with your kids? Chances are when you grow older, you're going to end up a miserable, lonely man. So consequences drive change. The second one here is habits. The second one here is habits. You are what you habitually do. If I look at your life now, you can look at somebody's life, you can look at somebody's body, you can hear how somebody talks, and you can consistently be able to tell what kind of habits that they are. My definition of habits here, these are automatic responses to life. These are the things that you do with your eyes closed. Majority of us, we run on autopilot 95% of the physical things that we do in the physical world. We wake up the same time, we run into the bathroom to brush our teeth, we run downstairs, or you go to the kitchen, you have your breakfast, you shower, you jump into your little car, you get onto the same highway, you go into the lift, you get into a little office, you do what needs to be done. From there, you go back to the coffee machine, you talk to your friends, back to the office, you come back, you have lunch with your friends, back to the office, you have your tea in the afternoon around 3, or you have another cup of coffee. 5 o'clock, you're the first one to jump out of the office, you get into your little car, you go back onto the same highway, you drive back the same route, you go back home, you kick off your shoes, you have something to drink because you say you had a long day, you're stressed, you sit in front of that television. So we keep on reliving the same day for the next 40 years. So until you change your habits, chances are you're not going to change your life. And one of the things, and the easiest thing with changing our habits, is simply looking at your life now and saying, what are my bad habits? If one of your bad habits is eating junk, then it means you have to start eating right. If one of your bad habits is smoking and you don't like it, you know it's detrimental to your health, then automatically it means that you have to stop smoking. If one of your bad habits is because you take too much time watching television at night and you don't get enough sleep, then you need to do that. So it's a matter of identifying what are the habits that are not serving you and then replacing them with the habits that serve you. A stands for attitude. You can only have two attitudes in life, either positive and negative. Majority of us will always leave our homes in the morning without deciding what kind of attitude we're going to attack the day with. We react to the day based on the first person that we meet. If we get into traffic and somebody hoots at us and gives us the finger, our day is messed. If we go into the office and the boss is in a bad mood and he shouts you down, your day is a mess. So constantly, you have to wake up in the morning and you have to decide, irrespective of what happens today, I'm going to have a beautiful day. And that's where attitude comes in. Your attitude will define your altitude in life. Negative attitude cannot give you a positive life. Positive attitude equals a positive life. So this is something that is within your control. And because we're not very intentional, because we don't choose it up front, we let our environment and the people around us to determine how we're going to feel the whole day. And how you feel in 1 hour determines how you feel for the day, determines how you feel for the week, determines how you feel for the month, for the year, and before you know it, it determines how you feel for the rest of the time. You end up having a negative life because you've always had a negative attitude. The next thing you have to look at D here is needs. What are your needs? There's a big difference between wants and needs. Most of us will always borrow money. Most of us will always borrow money to buy wants, but end up missing out on our needs. And a very easy question for you here is, a television and a fridge, if you had to choose one, which one is a need, which one is a want? An expensive cell phone, an iPhone, and a normal cell phone, which one is a need, which one is a want? All these things. So what are your needs? What are the things that you need for you to move from step A or point A to point B? Not what you want. We don't always get what we want in life, but we always have what we need. But most of us will always overlook the things that we need, and we focus too much on the things that we want. And in the process, we end up being unhappy, and in the process, we end up mortgaging our lives to a point where our happiness becomes outsourced. We start chasing it by buying external things at the expense of a very big burning hole in our pockets. Goals. What are your goals? This is something that you have to do in every area of your life. What are your goals? Most people spend more time writing down a grocery list. Most people spend more time writing down where they want to go on holiday. Most people spend so much time and so much money planning their wedding or planning their upcoming anniversary, but very few people take time to plan exactly what they want out of life. Because if you expect nothing, you get nothing. And if you aim nowhere, you hit nowhere. And this is how most people live their lives. And one of the things that we have to do when it comes to life, and I will narrow this down to your own health and your own happiness, you have to be very specific. You've got what we call RAS, reticular articulate system in your brain, that if you're very specific about what you want, the universe will always conspire. It will always cut out everything that you don't need, and it helps you focus on the thing that you want. How often do you always fall in love with a specific car, and all of a sudden you start seeing this car everywhere on the road? How often does a woman want to be pregnant and all of a sudden in our area, all she sees is pregnant women? And that's the power of RAS, reticular articulate system. That's the power of faith. That's the power of having the power of clarity. I call it the power of singularity, where you've so determined, you have crystal clear vision, crystal clear picture, crystal clear goal of what exactly you want out of life, what you want out of a specific situation. And exactly this becomes one of this. And then when it comes to E here, it's what we call experience. It doesn't matter how long you've lived. Your life is the sum total of your experiences. And most of us, unfortunately, we never use our lives as canvas to look back and self-correct. It's very few people that take time to introspect. And I will use a very easy example of weight loss. A lot of people will keep on moving from one eating plan, from one exercise plan, from one personal trainer, from one gym to the next, from one gym brand to the next. Keep on trying to do different things without taking time out. Pull yourself from the treadmill of trying to lose weight and ask yourself, I've been trying to do this for the last 10 years. When was the last time that I got the best success? And what are the specific things that I did at that specific time that gave me the results that I want? If you've been trying to lose weight for the last 10 years, the last 20 years, the last 30 years, if you've been trying to make money for the last 10 years, the last 20 years, the last 30 years, why are you repeating the same thing? Why don't you take a step back and look at your own life story from a financial point of view? Take a blueprint, take a printout of your financial history, take a printout from your weight loss history. Look at the graphs. When you are at your highest, when you are at your best, what are the specific things, specific actions, specific foods, specific investments? What are the specific monetary vehicles that you are driving at that time that helped you become at the peak? Because now, if you look at it like that, it becomes easier for you to hack your way to success because you're taking only the things that have worked for you, the highlights of your life, which makes it easier. If you struggle at 20 for you to lose weight, in your 30 or 40s, it should be bigger and easier for you to make more money, get into the best shape of your life because you're using your experience to cherry pick the best parts of your journey and now bring them into one vehicle, which makes it shortcuts. It extends what outcome that you want. So remember, you cannot live life and avoid change. Sticking to the acronym of change makes it easier for you to know that it's a no-brainer. You cannot succeed without succumbing to change. And then you have to change in the process. Whatever it is that you cannot change forces you to change yourself. Whichever way, change has to occur for there to be growth. See you soon and take care of yourself.